So people, Tottenham 1, Nottingham Forest 2, heading back home because there's no trains running from White Hart Lane. I'd like to pretend I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. It's a game that I actually don't think we deserve to lose. I think we created more than enough chances to, at the very least, get a point. If not, try and go ahead and press for all three. But yet we come out with 0 points. It's another loss at home. It's our 18th loss in the Premier League. So we are one game away from our highest ever tally in a Premier League campaign, which was, I think, 1993 on the 1993-1994 season. And we still got Liverpool to play in a couple of days. We still got Aston Villa away. So those are 2 guaranteed losses. So Spurs are going to break their record for the most amount of losses they've ever had in a Premier League season. And it doesn't just end there. If I go on tonight, I think we all saw it, man. A nonsense 15 to 20 minutes lost us that game of football. That plus other things that I'm going to touch on. But let's start with the 20 minutes, because for me, the way we defended was it was a travesty. One thing that I just lament all the time is just, it's incredible the amount of players that can just make runs into our box unopposed, or players that just get left unopposed at the edge of our area to get attempts at goal. It does my head in. It does my absolute nut. And then, okay, cool. Today, Vicario, he was unlucky for the first goal. Like, it's a good strike from Anderson. It takes deflection, it beats him. Cool. Stuff like that. It happens. It's been happening to us all season, but it happens. But the second goal, either you stay on your line and you parry the shot, or you come out and you get it. You can't do neither. Because if you do neither, it results in what we saw today, which is Chris Wood scoring one of the easiest goals he will score this season. And they're 2-0 up. And to be honest, at that point in time, they probably deserved a 2-0 lead, because they narrowly had a second goal ruled out a couple minutes before that. Chris Wood, again, literally, I think it was his arm that was offside, or his shoulder, sorry, that was offside. But it's just embarrassing, man. It's absolutely embarrassing. Sorry, my arm's hurting. Like, the amount of times, is the camera on properly?
It's okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
So, like, is the amount of nonsense that we have to put ourselves through each game, it just beggars belief, man. Like, it's scary. Careless in possession, not making the most of the ball in the opposition's half. And then I was saying it to my friend as well, who I was sat next to tonight. It's like, when teams have the ball against us, there's always a man that they can find. There's always a spare man that they can pass to beat our press. But when we have the ball, it feels like there's 100 players in front of us. And that's not by design. Listen, I'm going to give Nuno's team credit, because they were organised today. They were clinical in the moments they were on top, but they were not good as a footballing outfit today. They did not play well. They had about 5-6 shots the entire game, and 4 of them came in the first half. At half time, he brought on a centre back, and then he brought on Ryan Yates. And I don't even want to go in on them too tough. But I know what to expect from Nottingham Forest. They're not going to come here and play better football than you. That's not their MO. Their MO is to get a goal on the counter-attack or two and soak up pressure, soak up the game. I know Nuno Espirito Santo's style, because he used to manage Tottenham. And it was up to us to basically break that deep block. But what did we do? Just cross. We're crossing the ball so many times today against the one team where that's not going to work. And we're crossing the ball when there's no Solanke in the box. The guy who scored the most headed goals in the Premier League, mind you, last year. Now we want to get crosses off the ground. I saw something like 48, 49 crosses today, and only one converted into a goal. Only one. Embarrassing, bro. Like, people just seem to think that we're just going to keep losing these games, and we're just going to flick a switch and we're just going to blam these teams in the Europa League. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Now, Bodo, I'm still going to say we have to beat Bodo, and we have to beat them well at home, because away from home, it's a long day. It's a very long day on their pitch. But today, it's one of them ones where it's like, we actually created enough to have won. I think we had something like 21 attempts. Our XG was 2.1. We created more than enough chances to have got something out of this game, and we haven't because of our carelessness at both boxes. Because when it comes down to it, and it's the same thing at their ground. At their ground, they, as a footballing outfit, what you can do on the ball, they were useless. But they didn't care. They didn't need to be strong. They were just there again to score their goal in transition and defend, and that's what they did to us twice. Only this time we actually created more opportunities. At their ground, we didn't create anywhere near as many chances as we did today. Like, there were some positives. I thought Tell was decent today. I thought Odegaard was decent. Like, those two were the only ones that were bringing some sort of like quality in the first half. Like getting the ball, driving players, committing players. It's just the final ball, the final cross, the final shot. It just was lacking. And it's to be expected. They're 19-year-olds. But that's the problem. I'm having to rely on a 19-year-old, two 19-year-olds to cook. But to be honest, they were decent. And as a pairing, they're at least creating the threat and chaos that we want. Beating players, committing bodies, trying to destabilize the block. That's the one thing that I didn't see enough of from our midfield today. That was non-existent again, in possession anyway. Out of possession, I thought Bentancur was okay. He did well in his like tracking of runners and stuff. I thought he was all right. But on the ball, when he gets the ball, where's Kulusevski? Where's Sarr? Sarr was atrocious today. He was either hiding or just trying to make runs into the box. Like, he looked lost in this left 8 role, which begs the question, what are the instructions that this manager is sending these players? And what goes through your mind when you're picking these midfield setups? Like, the profile player you put in the midfield is important. It's absolutely important, because if you don't get it right, you get performances like tonight where Kulu out of the game, poor. Sarr out of the game, poor. It was basically Bentancur playing in midfield by himself in the first half. And even he, side-to-side passing. Richarlison was absolutely atrocious. I know he scored today. And it's a bigger indictment on Solanke. 2-2 for Richarlison since he's come back into the team. 2-2. 2-2, bro. He scored more goals in the last 2 games than our £65 million striker has in the last, 3 months? 4 months? It's a joke, man. But he was terrible today. I think there was one point in the first half, he had like 4 touches. He was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But again, at half-time, Nuno makes his changes. He shows his hand. He says, I'm 2-0 up. I don't really care to score again. I'm just going to soak up pressure. What you got for me? And we had moments. The Richarlison one, before he scored. The ball bubbles to him in the box. Matt Sells, big save from him. But then in the first half, I have to lament the chances that we missed. Tell, right in front of goal, on his left foot, completely blazes it over the bar. And then Odegaard puts in a fantastic cross, and somehow Tell and Sarr miscommunication and nobody gets the ball. That's a big chance. Big opportunity. Kulusevski, header in the second half, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. That's a big clearance from Nottingham Forest. Listen, they defended well, but that's what they've been doing all season. They've been defending well all season, and still, we created enough opportunities to have not left this game with a loss. And yet here we are. Here I am, talking about a loss. It's not good enough, man. I just watch us, and I just feel like there's an absence of coaching. Granted, today again was a better performance in terms of dominating possession, in terms of creating opportunities. But again, we're playing up against a team that came to our ground to surrender possession. They had no interest in keeping the ball. They had more interest in keeping us out of their goal whilst we had the ball. Right? And in the end of the day, they've been sharper in both boxes than we have. We were wasteful in our box with the moments that we created, and we were terrible in terms of our defensive awareness in our box and our competence. Vicario let himself down massively with a shocking error for the second goal, and we just gift away goals. Teams are not having to do loads to beat Tottenham. That's the reality. They don't have to do a lot to beat Tottenham Hotspur. Nottingham Forest literally had a good 15, 20 minutes max out of a 90-minute game plus, 6-minute stoppage time. And they've won the game 2-1. We've had 21 attempts to their 5 or 6, and we've lost at home. Why? Because we shoot ourselves in the foot constantly. In the final third, we're missing that. We're struggling with that final pass, and then tactically we're just set up poorly. We've got a manager who's crossing us to spam multiple crosses into the box against 6 foot, God knows how many 6 foot Sutton Milenkovic and 6 foot Sutton Murillo. That's the type of tactics. No centrality to our game whatsoever. Nothing to try and stretch out the block outside of our wide options. And then if you look at the subs in the second half, we need a goal. So what does he do? Instead of looking at what's worked for you when it comes to creating the chances, which was Teo and Odebear, like, keep them on the pitch for as long as you can, right? And make a change to the midfield. So we actually have someone in the midfield who can come and actually start making some progressive passes and can start joining some dots between our midfield and our attack. But no, he brings on Brennan Johnson against a set defence. What have you ever seen from Brennan Johnson against a set defence with a deep block, that deepest of deep block? They went to a back three in the second half. They went to a back three and they brought on Yates. They had no desire to score. They just wanted to close off the space. And Brennan Johnson is a player who literally, his MO is finding space in the box to connect first time. Did you really think that you were going to get that space and opening today? Why did you bring him on? Why did you bring him on? Why is Mikey Moore not on the bench? He could have been useful today. You saw the impact he made when he came on against Everton when we were 3-0 or 3-1 down. Like, having players like Tell, like Moore, like Odebear, players who can run at these guys, you could see the problems it was causing Nottingham Forest. They were causing Nottingham Forest problems. It was just the final execution, the final pass, the final shot. It wasn't good. That's the type of talent we need on the pitch to really break through Nottingham Forest's deep block. And instead, he brings on Johnson, takes off Kulusevski, who was poor today, very, very poor, well off the pace, and then goes to a two-man midfield with a midfielder in Sarr, who was a non-entity in this game in its entirety, apart from one nonsensical shot in the second half, or the first half, next to Bentancur. Again, where's the verticality in our passes? Where's the quality in the passes? Who's taking the ball, forcing the issue, taking it on a half turn, driving with it, penetrating, going through the heart? I get it, it's congested, it's not easy. But that's why we need midfielders with some personality to try and play those cute, nice, line-breaking passes. We had none of that today. All the threat was coming from out wide. And then he brings on Solanke, goes two-man up in a 4-4-2. So you've got Tell on the left, Solanke and Richarlison through the middle, and Johnson on the right. Johnson, who, mind you, put in 0 crosses. Porro was spamming cross. Eventually, one of the crosses landed on Richarlison's head. It was a good header. It was a very good header. But I have to say, yes, we didn't take our chances. But when you look at the amount of possession we had today, did we do enough? We could have done more. Like, teams are going to miss chances. We're going to miss chances. Yes, we should have taken more chances today. But I also have to lament the play, or the lack of, like, quality play with the amount of possession we had today. It's just not good. I don't care if this guy wins the Europa League 6-0. I want him gone. But I also want more quality from certain players. I do. Kulusevski, I need more quality. Richarlison, I want him gone in the summer. I want him gone. Big man thing. Sarr, it's looking spooky for you, bro. Where is the quality? I need quality. Can't be a passenger. And then when you get the ball side to side, playing passes, under-hit passes. Like, we need penetrative passes. Danso came on and was making some scary decisions on the ball, but he was brave at least. He's taking more risk with the ball than our midfielders. Jet Spence, I think he played one pass to put Tell in behind. And that one pass from our left back on the day was better than any pass I saw from our midfielder in Sarr. It's not good, man. We stink. We absolutely stink.